guys, welcome back. Drip and Farm for Poverty. I'm your host, Drip Coach, dropping knowledge bombs on all drip ecosystem related projects. And today's video, we're going to be talking about how regulation will help push and usher in decentralization. So I think DeFi is here to stay. The Binance flood, maybe Binance will be gone out of the US. I think that's the ultimate goal. We're going to talk about that and the Coinbase stuff as that relates to it, and how this is, can be bullish in the long term for crypto and DeFi. And we're gonna be using some clips from Ivan on Tech. So if you don't follow him or don't know about this guy, he does a lot of videos in DeFi, crypto, and been around for quite some time. So definitely an OG in the space, some great knowledge. But we're gonna jump straight to this piece regarding USDT and USDC. So comparing a crypto that is trying to play by the books versus one that's not, and that's going to be our underlying narrative for kind of diving into this.
Actions, and that's fully correct. That's something you're noticing, by the way, when you look at the stable coins. Look here, since the SEC and since all of these problems in the US started to happen, we did see a clear diversion of Tether and USDC. USDC started to die, okay, and Tether started to climb. This is very important. US policy in one chart: since January 1st 2023, USDT supply is up 16 billion and USDC supply is down 14 billion. So everything has been moving from USDC, which is compliant, regulated, American and all of that, to USDT, which is international, not as transparent. And here is your verdict. You thought that you would be better off by being fully compliant, fully honest, this and that, but no, US tells you it doesn't matter whether you're compliant or not. We're gonna sue both Coinbase, super compliant, Binance, maybe a bit less compliant across the world, no clear headquarters, no one even knows where the headquarters of Binance is. But the SEC says, we don't care, we're gonna sue both of you. What kind of signal does it send? And the same thing is happening with stablecoins. Stablecoins, you have a compliant one, fantastic, good boys, they're following all everything according to the books, fantastic, very, very nice. But look, they're losing to Chad's Tether, who have been taking a bit other approach, where they haven't been US centric and they've been a bit more global, and they haven't been as transparent. I mean, literally.
So I think that is something to question. Again, I believe the US is just, they're going to come back and they will have a seat at the table for crypto. They're just going about it in a weird way right now. But that is interesting. So we know Coinbase, USDC, BlackRock, all playing the same game, but yet they, according to market cap and how the money is moving, people are losing faith in the regulatory aspects of what the US is doing. And they're taking their toys and playing elsewhere. So that's why I think Binance will be here, because the world is bigger than just the US. The US does have kind of the big brother bully narrative that they can push, but the other nations are starting to realize that they don't have to take it sitting down, and they're kind of coming back and trying to find a way to combat this. So seeing that USDT, which everybody says is not regulated and speculative of how much they actually have in reserves, and their way they did their audit is questionable, all this stuff, but yet they got the capital, they're migrating the assets, and the one that is checked and regulated, people are like, to hell with that, because the US is trying to control everything. So they see the narrative from what happened with the Ukraine and Russia and the sanctions, all this stuff, right? So what I was getting at is that the more the US over regulates and over pushes the boundary, the more bullish it is for DeFi. And it's going to cause adoption, especially in other countries that have devalued currencies, because it's gonna be like, wait a minute, what can we do? You know, we don't want to be tied to the WEF and the FATF. So how do we do this? And maybe they take the Bitcoin standard like El Salvador, but they're clearly trying to get out of any ties to the US overreach, for lack of a better word. And let's go into one other clip he has about this.
Clearly, the US is sending the signal that we don't care how you're doing it, we just don't like crypto, which means that everyone takes note, and what does everyone do? They avoid being transparent. I think more and more companies will start being a bit less transparent, because they do see that it doesn't pay off. Like, it doesn't pay off at all. Look at Tether. It has paid off for them. Look at Binance. That didn't matter whether Coinbase compliant or not. They're still wrecked by the SEC. Now let's look at the Binance.
All right, so basically just echoing exactly what I said, but this also goes to, we heard Polygon was labeled in the lawsuit with Coinbase as one of the 12 or 13 they put in there as a security. And Polygon's response: "We are proud of the history of the Polygon network, developed outside the US, deployed outside the US, and focused to this day on global community that supports the network." This is like a big FU to the lawsuit labeling them a security. They're like, we already knew the US was not going to play nice with us, so we are proud of our history of the Polygon network being developed outside the US, outside the reach and constraints of the US. Since day one, the non-US market is the largest in the world, and this is true. When you combine everyone outside the US, man, the US is just a fraction. So that's what I'm saying. They're starting to wake up and realize, just like I keep telling everybody in the drip ecosystem, there's strength in numbers. You don't have to be dominated by the few. When the masses wake up, join together, they have the power. That's what DeFi is all about. And you're seeing now countries and assets and tokens like this doing that exact same thing. So we are grateful for all the thoughtful work being done on all aspects of this technology around the globe, including by regulators and policymakers. Again, another big FU to the US. I love it. I love it. That was on Twitter. So I'm not a big Polygon person. I'm not into it, but this is just letting you see what the narrative is, right? So yeah, there's fear and uncertainty and doubt in the regulatory aspects of the US, but other countries are not taking that stance. A lot of the other ones are opening the doors and creating regulatory framework and allowing this innovation, because it's money. This is money that can be filtered into these economies. And the US is just running around with their head cut off because they don't know how to work together. So it's very, very interesting. Now, one other thing I wanted to get into is we're going to cover one thing he mentions in here about first mover advantage that he talks about, where he's comparing, or someone asked about Polygon and AVAX, basically how Polygon is creating this multi-level blockchain and how AVAX already did it with their subnets. But he talks about that being first is just not enough. And I definitely want to echo some stuff on that.
Polygon is trying to do what AVAX is already doing. Well, I mean, it's not about the tech or ideas, really. It's about execution. So that's why when someone says, oh, you know, these guys, we were first, blah, 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 it doesn't matter because it's all open source anyway. So if you do something but you don't have use and liquidity and all dApps, then you haven't succeeded. So that's why I don't think that whoever is first is the decisive factor. It's whoever executes the best. So that's why you have, for example, Cosmos already doing what Polygon is doing and probably what Avalanche is doing. The same thing with Polkadot. Cosmos and Polkadot were the pioneers of this, you know, blockchain of blockchains, the network of blockchains. Does it matter? It still doesn't matter because they don't have real adoption, mass adoption. So the prize is still for the taking. No one has succeeded in making a nice experience with all of these like network of blockchains. So that's why if Polygon can do it, it's going to be a massive net positive for this industry, and we should all support them. If Avalanche can do it, fantastic. But yeah, it doesn't matter who does it first, this and that. It's about who will succeed, making a nice experience, infinitely scalable, more, just add more networks. You can transact through across all of them, and most importantly, someone who gets users. Like, you can have such a tech, okay, why are people not using it? You need users, you need the devs, users, you need coins that pump. That's important. I mean, as long as we see coins pumping like hell, it's that's the reason to go into a blockchain.
Facts on that one. So like he said at the very end, as long as you see coins pumping, that's the reason to go into blockchain. Now one can argue that's the reason to go into anything on a blockchain, any dApp. So as he was echoing in multiple different ways, it's really all about the marketing. It doesn't matter if you're first, doesn't matter how innovative it is, doesn't matter how cool it is. If it's pumping, people will get in. And that's where, again, I want to echo the sentiment to the drip community. You need to realize our superpower. It's the fact that we are a passionate group of individuals. anywhere we go, if we want to cause a pump, we can, because there's a collective energy that we can take with us. It's not about the token itself. It's not about the contract. It's not about the 1% a day or the dev or anything like that. It's not even about the content creators like myself. It's about that collective energy, taking it wherever we want it to go and doing something with it. So this is something that we need to realize regarding the current condition of Drip and the future utility and building stuff out. So that's why I want to encourage all you guys out there that if you want to build something or you have ideas, get them out there, share them in the chats, talk to other people, build your network, and get moving on it, because we don't need any permission. You don't need to have any dev experience. All you need is an idea and find the right people to align with your idea, and we can get things done. And that alone is the biggest utility, because even if you're inexperienced, you get the right people alongside you, they will help carry the project forward, and the community will help support it, and we can clean it up and inspect it and do all this stuff. And even if it's not a project like that, shouts out to again SPRITZ. Head over there and get signed up with them so that you can actually pay bills and pump the Drip token at the same time. This was not something that I had any experience with. All I did was create a funnel of an enthusiastic, passionate crypto community and say, hey, what happens if these people use this dApp? Is there any way we can get some kind of cross promotion with this? And the same thing I showed you guys with this multi-level marketing company, Live Good. I'm not making any money on there yet, but if I can find a way to integrate that, like if I see that that's working, then you bet your bottom dollar that selling supplements will not be too far-fetched for me to start promoting something like that and talk to the team over there and say, hey, we got a passionate group of people that, you know, are in health and fitness, some of them, of course. And what happens if, you know, these people are buying your supplements and your greens powders and stuff like that? What kind of buybacks can we get for a Drip token, because they allow crypto? So that's the juice. That's the angle I'm taking. But there's clearly other paths each of us can take to help promote the Drip price. Think of it as trying to find some kind of utility to offset that 1% per day. That Faucet is going to continue to print every single day. And if you want your Drip token to be worth something the next day, or worth more than it was the day before, then we have to offset that 1% compounded interest with finding a way to basically get 1% or 2% or more back into the Faucet from real utility. So SPRITZ is just one of those avenues. Gaming is another avenue. Gambling is another avenue. Borrow and lending is another avenue. Real utility like brick by brick, things of that nature, whatever it is. Get your information out there, connect with people, and don't everybody hit me up and say, hey, coach, I want to run this by you. I want you to head this up. No, I can't run all these projects, but I'll be happy to give some shine to anybody that's trying to do something. But I'm not looking for your project. You got to come and share it with me and make it a short elevator pitch, because I don't feel like doing hours and hours of research on everybody's project either. All right, that's all I got. Hope that provided some value. If it did, smash that HBO special, help brother out, like, subscribe, comment down below. Until next time, live daily and achieve your impossible. See ya. Want to pay your in real life bills with crypto? How about send crypto directly to anyone with a bank account? SPRITZ Finance is a decentralized solution to be your own bank and connect your crypto earnings to real world bills and payments. They do not take custody of your assets and allow support on multiple blockchains and Web3 wallets. Sign up below using my referral link and you will get $50 back when you make your first $50 bill payment with crypto. Additionally, I will be using referral bonuses to airdrop, donate, or burn based on community feedback. Sign up now.